Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego here for another live stream on May 24th, 2025. It is May 24th, 2025, 6 p.m. Central Time. The Green Card channel, the K1 Visa channel, where you get all this information on how to process all this crazy paperwork. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS, and I don't give you any legal advice, but I got 11 years experience doing this. Okay, a lot of time. I've helped hundreds of people get their K1 visa, get their green cards, etc., etc., etc. It's a great feeling, okay, when I can help somebody achieve this goal of family reunification the legal way. You got to do it the legal way. Okay, don't be coming in here illegally. If you come in this country, the United States of America, illegally, you will be found and you will be deported. That's just what the law says. Congressional law says that. Okay, congressional law says you have to be here legally. So what do you have to do to come here legally? Well, you got to have a green card. To get your green card, you got to pass a medical exam. You got to pass a an FBI check, a police check. You got to pass a visa interview. You got to be qualified for the benefit. You just can't walk into this country and demand stuff. Those days are over. If I was to walk into the Colombia illegally and then start demanding this and demanding that, and the Colombian government would laugh at me and arrest me and deport me back to the United States. You just can't do that. Okay. But I've got the MAGA pixie dust ready to go. I got my buddy J-Rod here. He's ready to help with questions. And I also have Mountain Dew for the Mountain Dew salute. Ryan Redwood is the first up to bat here. Good day. You are truly a blessing. Well, we want to be a blessing. We want to help you get reunified, okay, with your family. It's not fun. We were separated. We dated for 3 years, okay? And we were separated for a year. I was in Florida. Karina was in Colombia, South America, in Bogota. Now, Karina's from Venezuela. Beautiful Caracas, Venezuela. Beautiful country. Venezuela is a beautiful country. So is Colombia. And I was given the opportunity to live in Colombia for almost 3 years with my beautiful now wife, Karina. If we can do it, you can do it. But I had an advantage because I know the process like the back of my hand. Okay. You don't need an immigration attorney to do this. You don't need an immigration attorney to process this green card, your K1 visa application. The only time you need an immigration attorney is if you have a criminal record, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, and you want to have an immigration attorney take a look at your criminal record and see if you're qualified or not qualified for the K1 visa benefit. Okay, if you qualify, it's something stupid. You stole a comic book from Winn-Dixie when you were 10 years old, something stupid. Have an immigration attorney clear you first. Okay, but then go home and start processing the paperwork. If you've been dating somebody for a long time, you want to date somebody for at least a year. You want to make at least 2 or 3 trips to go see your beneficiary in his or her home country, right? You want to make sure this isn't going to fall flat on its face. You bring somebody to the United States, then all of a sudden they just take off. Well, thanks for the green card. Adios. That's why this process is so strict. The embassy, the interviews are strict. The paperwork is strict. The processing time is kind of long, but there's a lot of investigation that's required. Okay, if you are patient with this process, and you qualify for the process, and you're in a real relationship, and you've been dating each other for a long time, and you got all this evidence, you're going to pass get through all the hoops and get the green card, and first the K1 visa. Now, a K1 visa is more expensive in regards to price, in cost of doing business than a spousal visa. But with a spousal visa, you have to wait for your green card in your home country, which is soon to be your ex-home country. Because remember, when you come to the United States, the U.S. government is expecting you, once you get your green card, to assimilate and become American. Focus on U.S. citizenship. Focus on learning about, the United States. Because the green card isn't a tourist visa. It's a document which allows you to live permanently in the United States of America. And work also. Karina has a great job. She's doing fun. She's tired today. She's kind of tired. It's her day off, but she's here on the live stream. Karina's usually, she tries to make every live stream, but sometimes it's like she's busy doing stuff. Remember, we got these two cats, and Vanny and Riddy, and Vanny's from Miami and Riddy's from Crestview, Florida. They're both Floridians, so it's an interesting thing. But Vanny's coming too slowly. She's getting used to Riddy being in the house, so they're becoming friends, which is good. Because when Riddy first got into the house, it was like a freaking war going on. And I think one of these lights went out. There we go. Anyway, the K1 visa process is more expensive, but it's quicker than a spousal visa. And you get the opportunity, your beneficiary gets the opportunity to live with your sponsor in America while waiting for the green card on a K1. If you come in on a spousal visa, you have to wait in your home country. Was that the light that went out, this one? Okay, so I got a light bulb. Luckily, I bought some new light bulbs for this little studio, the YouTube studio, the Mountain Dew studio. I got more light bulbs in the closet, but I'm not going to get up and change it right now because I'm doing the live stream. But those light bulbs, one went out the other day, and this one just went out. So they last pretty good, a couple of years, and then you got to replace them. So, Karina's from Venezuela. She relocated to Colombia in Bogota. She was living there for 6 years. We dated there for 3 years. I lived with her for 3 years in Colombia. And we submitted the K1 visa, got approved. It took 22 months right in there before she got her K1 visa in her passport. It took a bit longer because of the end of COVID and all the embassy staff were crawling out from underneath their desks. They were scared to death of catching COVID. So everybody shut down. The whole world closed because of a freaking flu bug. Insanity, right? But that's what happened. But Karina, then she got her K1 visa approved. Then I accompanied her from Bogota, Colombia to Miami. Then we drove up here to Florida. She went to her biometrics in New Orleans. And then 3 months after she did her biometrics, she had her green card in her hand without an interview. But now we're in different times. There's a different process in place. And 95% of all green card applicants for 2-year green cards are going to have a green card interview. But don't worry about it. You make it through the visa interview at the embassy. You'll make it through the green card interview in the United States. And don't forget, you got to repeat your medical exam for your green card, for your 2-year green card. You got to repeat the medical exam. Okay, and you got to find a doctor where you live that's authorized by the State Department, which is ran by Marco Rubio. Find a doctor, get your medical exam recertified, redone, get your vaccinations recertified, and include it in your 2-year green card application on Form 693. So what forms are you going to need for a 2-year green card application? Well, the beneficiary is going to have to fill out Form 485. The sponsor can help. The sponsor fills out Form 864, the affidavit of support. You got to get the 693, which is the medical exam. You got to have the I-94, which is to show you had a face-to-face with an immigration officer at the entry point. You got to have a copy of your K1 visa blown up nice and big in color, and a copy of your sponsors and the beneficiary's biographic page of the passport blown up nice and big in color. Your marriage certificate, okay, the sponsor's last tax return. Okay, and tax transcript if you can get it. If it's if you file for your taxes, if you file your taxes in April, you probably won't be able to get a tax transcript till like June or July, because the IRS isn't the quickest government entity on the planet. But if you owe them money, they are faster than Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, but if you're just asking for paperwork and documents, they're not always fast. But if they've populated your tax return, you filed your taxes, let's say in January, and you need your tax transcript for a visa interview, let's say by July, you can get your tax transcript. Bring the tax transcripts to your visa interview. Give them to your beneficiary. Include them in your K1 visa application. Even though it's not required, I recommend that you include it in your K1 visa application. Make sure you don't use an expired form. The I-129F. You fill it out 2 weeks or a week before you file for your K1 visa. Don't fill out the I-129F and then 6 months later file for the K1 visa. Don't try to get ahead of the game, because immigration changes the forms frequently, the addition dates. Okay, so when you file for your K1 visa application, make sure you file it about fill out the paperwork a week before you're getting ready to ship it out. Don't use your credit card to pay for your K-1 visa. Don't use your credit card to pay for your green card application. Use a check, a personal check, or a cashier's check made out to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You cannot make any abbreviations in the check. You can't put USDEPTHOME/ whatever. You can't do that. When you write a check to the Homeland Security folks, you write it out to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in its entirety, and you use a check to pay for the K-1 visa application and then for the 2-year green card. You can use your credit card to pay for the consular fee. Let's suppose you're trying to schedule a visa interview at the embassy in Manila, Philippines, or in Islamabad, Pakistan, Mumbai, India. You can use your credit card to schedule an interview. It's 200, the 200 plus bucks is what it costs. 260, what is it? $265, I think it is. And but don't use your credit card to pay for the green card or the K-1 visa, because 9 times out of 10, the bank you work with won't recognize the charge and they will block the transaction. Orlando Lopez. Hello, lovely couple. Wife got her green card in the mail a week ago. Well, both Orlando, you get the first Mountain Dew salute of the live stream, May 24th, 2025. Mountain Dew salute. Our K-1 started in October 2023 when we sent the application in the mail. Thanks for your sharing your knowledge and experience. Well, that's why we're here. I can write the K-1 visa process. I could write a book on how to do it. I can do it in my sleep. I can put a green card package together, okay, in my sleep. I've got 11 years been doing this, okay? John Labatt, hello to you guys and everyone. My question, I read that everyone attending an interview in Manila has to bring an I-864. Is this true? That's the first I heard of it, because the I-864 is when you file for the green card. Also, how to print the DS-160 after it's completed. Once you've completed the DS-160, you hit submit, and then it will tell you to print it. The immigration will tell you, once you've submitted it to the embassy in Manila, once you submit the DS-160, John. Now, John is a member of this channel. John has my phone number and my email address, okay? Because he's a member of this channel. If you are a member of this channel, you get my phone number, you get my email, and I will talk to you on the phone, text you, email you, email me, and I'll help you personally, one-on-one, on the phone. If your membership expires, okay, that's fine if you don't want to renew your membership, but then just remember, then you're going to have to wait for a live stream for me to help you. So John, I've never heard of the 864 being required for the interview in Manila. You need the I-134, which is, can you prove 100% minimum income? The 864 is, can you prove 125% minimum income? The I-134 is used for the K-1 visa. Okay, the 864 is used for the green card. So I will investigate and find out if it is required now to fill out an I-864 for the interview in Manila. If it is, then I'll find out and just fill it out. Things that, in the immigration process, things change. And all of it, they change, like 1 minute you do it this way, the next minute you got to do it this way, and they don't really know, nobody tells you, nothing. Immigration is, they don't tell you, oh, by the way, you need to do this. That's why I put the channel together, okay? With Karina's idea. Celia, hi Diego, for the adjustment of status through K-1, I will have an interview with a USCIS officer. Can you tell me what is going to happen at the interview? What kind of questions will be asked? What should I bring? You're going to get a letter, Celia, from immigration telling you what to bring to the interview. You need to bring your marriage certificate. You got to prove you got married, right? You got to bring I would bring the last 3 years of tax returns and tax transcripts, so to prove income. Bring I would say 2 months worth of bank statements showing that you are a joint co-owner or on the bank account. Bring proof that you are on the house deed or the apartment deed. Okay, you got to prove that you are commingling funds. So you need to be on the water bill, the electric bill, the trash bill, the phone bill, blah, all the bills you can think of. Get proof of everything that shows that you are living together, you are helping each other financially, you are, obviously the beneficiary cannot work until he or she gets the green card. But you got to show that you are living together, that you are in a relationship together. It's basically a second look by immigration to make sure the relationship is real. Dress business casual. If you don't know the answer to a question, the immigration officer asks you, don't worry about it. Say, I don't know. And then be quiet. What kind of questions can you get? Well, they could ask you questions about your relationship. How did you meet each other? Have you met each other's family? Well, I haven't met Karina's mom because she lives in Venezuela. But I met all her brothers and nieces and nephews because they live in Colombia. So if Karina has her 2-year green card, but when she goes for her 10-year green card, if she has to go to a green card interview, they could ask Karina, what's the color of the carpet in your house where you live? They could ask her that question. What's the color of Diego's toothbrush? Like, I don't even know what the color of my freaking toothbrush is. I don't even know the color of my own toothbrush because it's irrelevant, right? But these are things that immigration could ask you. Personal questions about your life together. Okay? Don't panic, Celia. You can do this. What kind of questions? They're going to ask you personal questions. Where does your husband work? Where does your wife work? What's the locate? Okay, you go to Walmart, you buy groceries at Walmart. What streets is Walmart located on? You got to know information about the city or town you live in. You got to know everything about your sponsor. The sponsor's got to know everything about the beneficiary. Okay, Celia, don't panic. Don't worry. John Labatt, all the papers, thanks. I printed out those copies just in case for the I-864. Well, if you printed the DS-160s, then you're good to go. That's what they need for the K-1. That's what they need for the K-1 visa interview, and fill out the 864 and get it to your beneficiary. It's got to be an original signature on the I-864. This is all new stuff that's coming out of Manila. Okay, I haven't heard about it, but I'm going to find out about it. Jonas, I filed the K-1 visa for my girlfriend. I'm a U.S. citizen. We have a 10-year-old together. You have a 10-year-old together. You waited 10 years to put the K-1 visa package together? And I divorced my 29-year-old wife in 2022. Are we going to encounter problems because I have an out-of-wedlock child? So you filed a K-1 visa for your girlfriend. You're a U.S. citizen. Okay? And you have a 10-year-old child together. You have a 10-year-old with your girlfriend from what country are we talking about? Explain yourself a little bit more. The child is here with me. I made his papers and he came last July as a U.S. citizen. All right? Then the child, you don't even have to worry about a K-2 for the child. The child's a U.S. citizen. No worries. K-2 is irrelevant. Your question is, you filed for a K-1 visa for your girlfriend. I'm a U.S. citizen. We have a 10-year-old together. So 10 years ago, you were with this young lady and you had a baby together. And then you divorced my 29-year-old wife in 2022. So are you trying to bring your ex-wife on a K-1 visa to the United States? Is that the question? I'm trying to unconfuse what you're asking me. You're telling me you got a 10-year-old with this lady who's your girlfriend. But then you're going on about an ex-wife. Venezuela is irrelevant. First of all, I need to know, are you trying to bring your ex-wife to the United States on a K-1 visa? Is that what you're asking me? It doesn't matter if she's from Venezuela or if she's from the Galapagos Islands. Are you trying to bring your ex-wife to the United States on a K-1 visa? That's the question I have. I need to know the answer to that. John, all the papers, thanks. I printed out the DS-160s and get the yes. Listen, Jonas, this is the question. The child is irrelevant in this. The child is not irrelevant, but is irrelevant in this paperwork right now. Are you trying to bring your ex-wife from Venezuela to the United States on a K-1 visa? That's the question I have. The child is not included in that question. Okay? If she's from Venezuela, a Mountain Dew salute to all the beautiful people in Venezuela. We love everybody in Venezuela, except for the government, the communist government. Jonas, I'll ask you one more time. Are you trying to bring your ex-wife to the United States on a K-1 visa from 10 years ago? And then I can answer your question that you asked me, is there going to be a problem? Okay? It's not hard to do. You can bring some, yes. Okay, I have a girlfriend, Jonas. I have a girlfriend. I met her in 2012 in Venezuela. She's my sister's friend. In 2014, I had a child with her while married. Now I understand. So you were married to somebody and you weren't getting along. You met this beautiful lady from Venezuela and you had a child with her. You are now legally free and able to marry because you are divorced, correct? From the other lady. So if you are legally free and able to marry your fiance from Venezuela, forget about your ex-wife now. She's an American. Let me answer your question for you. Now I understand. So you were married to somebody, and then you met a beautiful lady from Venezuela, and you had a child with her, right? Is that what happened? While you were married to your wife. You are now divorced from your wife. Okay. So you're good. If you are legally free and able to marry, okay. If you're flying solo, you have a certified copy of your divorce decree signed by a judge saying that you are single now, divorced. You have a child with your Venezuelan girlfriend who is a U.S. citizen, which is fine. You are not going to have any problem bringing your fiance from Venezuela to the United States. It's not a problem. You're legally free and able to marry. You got evidence of your divorce. You got a certified divorce decree signed by a judge. You got to get a certified copies. You're going to need a certified copy of your divorce decree for the K-1 visa, for the visa interview, for the 2-year green card application, for the 10-year green card application, and for U.S. citizenship for your Venezuelan bride to come in the future. So you need 5 plus 1 for you in your house. You need 6 certified copies. Jonas, listen to me. You need 6 certified copies of your divorce decree. So your homework is to get 6 certified copies of your divorce decree. Imran, hey, Imran Hussein, what's going on, Imran? Jonas, they won't check social media with all the times I went on vacation to Venezuela while married. Immigration don't care how many times you went to Venezuela while you were married, because you are now divorced. You are a divorcee with a certified divorce certificate, which means you are legally free and able to marry your Venezuelan fiance. So you're good. Okay? You just got to prove you're single, actually divorced, okay? The child is a U.S. citizen, so you don't need to get a K-2 application for the child, okay? And because your fiance is from Venezuela, is great. Karina's from Venezuela. We love Venezuelan ladies, aren't they so pretty? Look at Karina right here, beautiful. Venezuelans are beautiful, right? Look at Karina. So you made a good choice there, Jonas, in finding a Venezuelan. You got to be able to. Thank you very much, Diego. I'm from Venezuela too. Okay, but you are a U.S. citizen, right, Jonas? So are you a naturalized American? How did you become a U.S. citizen, Jonas? Imran, I got a question. What is the priority date? The priority date applies to if you want to bring grandma to America, if you want to bring your brother to America or your sister to America, if you want to bring your second cousin to America, there's a set number of green cards that are available to people who want to bring brothers, sisters, mom, dad, etc. Well, not mom and dad, but brothers and sisters. Mom and dad is considered an immediate family member, but brothers and sisters, cousins, etc., there's a priority date assigned to their application. So if you want to bring your brother to the United States, you file the paperwork on an I-130, a priority date will be issued for your brother's application, which could take maybe 10 years before you get to the priority date. So we're in 2025, so the priority date would be probably 2035 to bring a brother to America. It got nothing to do with a K-1 visa or a spousal visa or a 2-year green card application. A priority date is totally irrelevant. A second question, what's the inquiry date for a spousal visa? What's the inquiry date? That means that's when you can ask about the status of your, if you filed for a spousal visa, that's when you can, the minimum date that you can ask, what's the status? And it takes a bit longer to get a spousal visa, but it's cheaper. So let me see. Jonas. Yes, my ex-wife gave me the divorce decree. So you got divorced in Venezuela. Jonas, listen, Jonas, listen to me. Pay attention to Diego. Your divorce decree is from Venezuela. It needs to be translated into English by a certified translator. And you need 6 copies, 6 certified copies of your divorce decree and 6 translations. You got papers from your ex-wife. Is your divorce in the United States? Okay, so your divorce was in the United States. You're good. But you're from Venezuela. Are you a naturalized American? So don't worry about where you got divorced. You got divorced in New York. Are you a naturalized American? Let me see. She has to go to the embassy in Colombia. She will have to, your fiance from Venezuela will have to go for her scary visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. Okay? You're going to have to file the K-1 visa application for her. And when you fill out the I-129F, they are going to ask you, where do you want your fiance to have her visa interview? You will write down on the paperwork, Bogota, Colombia. Jonas, I'm an American citizen. If you are from Venezuela, how did you become an American citizen? How did you become a U.S. citizen if you're from Venezuela? August 13th for the question. Don't worry about it, Imran. You're in a spousal visa, right? All you got to do is wait for the scheduled interview date. The National Visa Center will schedule the interview for you if you are in a spousal visa. Okay? If you've been married for 2 years or less, your wife will get a 2-year green card. If you've been married for 2 years or longer, she will get a 10-year green card. TikTok. Hey, Diego and Karina, thank you again for all your help. Why 6 copies of the divorce decree? Let me go over it. Mine do salute to TikTok because that's an excellent question. I love these excellent questions. Jonas, how did you become a U.S. citizen? Are you naturalized? Is one of your parents American? How did you get it? How did you get your citizenship? Why 6 copies of the divorce decree? Okay, you got to have a certified copy of the divorce decree if you're divorced. American citizen sponsor and also beneficiary. If you are divorced, you got to have a certified copy of the divorce decree for your own records at your house. You got to have a certified copy of your divorce decree for the K-1 visa interview. You got to have a certified copy of your divorce decree for the 2-year green card. You got to have a certified copy of the divorce decree for the 10-year green card. You got to have a certified copy of the divorce decree for U.S. citizenship interview. One for your house, one for the K-1 visa. No, wait a second. You also need to include it in your K-1 visa application. So listen, if you are divorced, you got to have a certified copy of your divorce decree through one for your house, for the family records, one for the K-1 visa application when you file the K-1 visa, one for the visa interview, one for the 2-year green card application, one for the 10-year green card application, and one for your citizenship application. So you need 6 certified copies of your divorce decree for 6 different reasons. And in those 6, one of them is going to be in your house for your records. Let me see. Christopher Reese. Howdy, Diego and Karina and everyone. Hey, Christopher, why aren't you a member? What happened? You're no longer a member of the group. I don't see the blue star next to your name. TikTok. My fiance has got divorced. My fiance has got divorced and widowed, and I'm planning to be wife number 3. He's US. I'm British. So you're Brit. Well, we'll give you a Mountain Dew salute because you're British, okay? Because then you don't have to translate any documents you don't have to get your documents translated. So let's see here. So your fiance, so your fiance is in the United States and you are in the United Kingdom. You're in England, okay? He got 1 divorce. So you're going to need 6 certified copies of his divorce decree. He's going to have to get 6 certified copies of his divorce decree. 1 for his K-1 visa application, 1 for the embassy interview, 1 for the 2-year green card application, 10-year green card application, and then U.S. citizenship for you. Okay? So he's going to need 6 copies certified by the court of his divorce decree. His second wife passed away, so he's going to have to get 6 certified copies of her death certificate. And you're going to be wife number 3. No, you're going to be wife number 1, okay? Wife number 1. You're into wife number 1. Okay, let's see here. So do you understand what I'm saying there? TikTok. 6 copies of his divorce decree. 6 copies of his wife's that passed away's death certificate. So that's going to be, he's going to have to include a certified copy of his divorce decree with the K-1 visa application and a certified copy of his wife's death certificate. Okay, he has to prove he's legally free and able to get married. Okay. Jonas, I got my green card through my ex-wife and then became a citizen. So you are a naturalized American, Jonas. You have a naturalization certificate. When you file for the K-1 visa, okay, for your beautiful fiance from Venezuela, you must include your naturalization certificate in the K-1 visa application, along with a copy of the biographic page of your U.S. passport. Okay, you got to have what you told me about, your trips to Venezuela while you were married. Okay, you didn't get along with your wife. It's irrelevant. What's relevant is you are divorced and legally free and able to marry, number 1. Number 2, you are a naturalized American. You're going to need to get a copy of your naturalization certificate and include it in your K-1 visa application. Jonas, listen. When you fill out your K-1 visa paperwork for your fiance from Venezuela, you have to put your naturalization certificate number on the I-129F. You have to tell immigration where you got naturalized and what date and the location you got naturalized. All that information is on your naturalization certificate. Okay? So Jonas, your homework is what I just explained. If you don't have a copy of your naturalization certificate, you can't find it, you lost it. Jonas, I'm afraid that they will say that I cheated to my ex-wife and have an out-of-wedlock child. Jonas, immigration couldn't give a rat's ass about that. What they care about is you are legally free and able to marry. You have a child, which is fantastic, okay? And you're going to marry the lady that you had the child with from Venezuela. Immigration is going to look at it like you are putting your family back together, okay? That's what they're going to see. You're going to marry the lady that you had a child with Whether you were married or not in the past is irrelevant. Okay? What's relevant is you are divorced. Okay? You have a 10-year-old with your fiance from Venezuela, and you want to marry her, bring her to the United States, and you're putting together your family and giving your child a father. You are not going to have a problem with the green card, just as long as you qualify for the benefit. Make sure you qualify for the benefit. You make enough money, because your family size is going to be 3. You, your fiance, soon-to-be wife, and your child. That's 3. Your family size is 3. You have and Jonas, I have my original naturalization certificate. Make a copy of it, because it's going to be going into your K1 visa application for your fiance from Venezuela. And what I see here is you are reunifying your family, not just your fiance, but your child. Immigration wants to see that kind of stuff. John Labatt, can we pay for the DS-160 before we submit the form? You don't pay for the DS-160, John Labatt. John Labatt, listen up. The DS-160 is free. When I filled out Karina's DS-160, I submitted it, put my name on there as a helper. It was free. The embassy received it. Okay, here's Karina's DS-160. Okay. Then when you are able to, when you get your permission from the embassy, you can pay for the consular fee. When you pay the consular fee with your credit card, if you want, it opens up a calendar in the SEAC account. U.S. Travel Docs, SEAC, opens up a calendar where you can see open dates for K1 visa interviews. When I submitted Karina's DS-160, the embassy then sent me the packet 3, packet 4 email. I clicked on it. I paid the consular fee. I scheduled the visa interview and the biometrics. And then Karina went down to the medical office and scheduled her own medical exam in person. She went there in person. Christopher Reese, I'll fix it when I got hacked. What do you mean you got hacked? You got hacked on your computer. What's that got to do with being a member of this channel? Let me see here. Imran, hey, thank you, Diego. I will see if I get any updates. Jay Baxter, good evening to the Ross family. Jay Baxter, Mountain Dew salute. Jay Baxter is a member of the channel. Welcome, Jay Baxter. Christopher Reese, why is name not green anymore? I need to fix my bank account. Your name isn't green because you're no longer a member of the channel. You didn't, which is okay. You don't have to, but you didn't renew your membership. Let me see. Let me know, Imran. Okay, keep me in the loop on this. Goku Giova 1. Hello, Diego. This is Giovanni. Giovanni. Okay. Hope it, now, Giovanni, I mistook you in the past from being from Italy, right? But this is from Colombia, if I'm correct. I hope everything has gone great for you and Karina. Always. We're always good. I will be submitting the I-485 adjustment for my wife. I will be moving soon as well. I should use the current address. You don't want to move in the middle of a green card application. Don't do that. What? Don't do that. Giovanni, when you file for the green card, stay where you are until you get the green card. Don't be moving in the middle of a green card application. It's not good. Green cards get lost that way all the time. And then people are calling immigration. Where's my green card? Where do you live? I live here. Oh, we send it to this address. Don't do it. Christopher, it will be squared away this evening. All right, Christopher, we look forward to seeing you back as a member. Giovanni, do not move while you are in the smack dab middle of a green card process. You stay where you are until you get the green card. And then you can move. And then you must notify immigration of your new address, the sponsor, and the beneficiary. TikTok, wife number one. Diego, that's the nicest comment ever. I have a question for Karina. Señora, gusta cuando yo hablo, señora, es primero número uno esposa. That's the nicest comment I have ever had. TikTok, you're number one, okay? You're number one. I have a question for Karina, pregunta para ti, if I may. It's okay. Would she live in the dead's wife's house, or would she prefer to move to a fresh house? My fiancé is still in the house. Señora pregunta. Imaginación, mi esposa en cielo, en esta casa. ¿Es no problem para ti tu vivo aquí? Cuando en pasado, señora en cielo? Karina said it wouldn't be a problem for her. There's no, she said, as long as there's no pictures. I got stuff on my arm here. What is that? She said, if there's no memories of, there's no evidence of her being here. Okay, so what you need to do is talk to your fiance in the United States. If it was Karina, she would say, make sure there's no pictures of the lady that passed away in the house. There's no memories other than what's in his brain. That's what Karina told me. That's what she just said in Spanish to me. She said it would be okay as long as it wasn't him constantly going on about his wife in heaven. Because remember, you guys are getting married. You're number one now, or you are number one. The first one was a divorce. That should never have happened, right? The second one passed away. All right, so God took her and has control now of her. And now you're going to be on a fresh slate, okay? So what my advice to your fiancé in the United States would be this, TikTok. Get rid of all the furniture that was with the wife that went to heaven, right? And then when you come to the United States, you go out and you pick out new furniture, and like you said, redecorate. Okay, you got it. Karina wouldn't have a problem with it, but there can be no memories. That you can't be going on about, oh, my wife's in heaven. You can't do that. It's history. Chapter's closed. Now it's with you and him. Jonas, I met my girlfriend at my parents' house in Venezuela. Karina's parents live in Venezuela. When I went on a vacation with my ex-wife and 3 kids to celebrate my daughter's birthday. My ex-wife knows my girlfriend. That's all good, Jonas. We went to a villa with the whole family for a week, and my girlfriend was my sister's guest. Okay, great. Jonas, listen. Number one, if you are divorced and you can prove it and you're a free and able to marry, you qualify for the K-1 visa. Number 2, your girlfriend, who you have a child with, as long as she's single and legally free and able to marry, she qualifies for the K-1 visa. I recommend that she get her a letter of solteridad. Okay. I recommend that she gets a carta de soltería, Jonas. You can speak Spanish, right, Jonas? Get a carta de soltería, your girlfriend, your fiancé. She's not your girlfriend, she's your fiancé. Okay. Get a carta de soltería. She needs to get it to help back up the fact that you have a child with her. But it's irrelevant that you make all these trips to Venezuela and now you're divorced. It's got immigration. It's noise over here. It's noise. Immigration don't want to listen to the noise. Okay, they want to see if you qualify for the benefit, if you're legally free and able to marry, if you love each other, and what you're going to do is you're going to give your child a dad through marriage. Carta de soltería. That's what your fiance needs to get one of those. Okay. Let me see. Thanks for your advice, Diego. Jonas. You're welcome, Jonas. No problem. Now, Jonas, I recommend you sign up as a member to the channel. Jonas, escucha mis palabras, por favor. Sign up as a member so that way you have my phone number and I can walk you through this step by step personally, because this lady's from Venezuela and there's a lot of things that she's going to have to go through to get her K1 visa. I know how to do it. Or if you don't want to be a member, that's fine. But I recommend you sign up as a member, not because I want your $9.99. It's because I want to help you personally with this lady, okay? Because you seems like you got a lot of dust bunnies on your application in your mind, and I want to make sure you understand that you're going to be okay. Giovanni, Colombia. Hey, I got a good memory, right? Giovanni, you don't want to move in the middle of a green card application. It's not good. Immigration, look at it as instability, number one. Okay? Can you not just wait until you get the freaking green card before you start making decisions to move? You know? John Labatt, that's what I meant. Pay the consular fee in advance. I'm asking that question. Well, you're going to have to submit the DS-160 first. You submit the DS-160, then the embassy knows that your fiance is applying for a K1 visa. They got to know. You can pay a consular fee all day long, but if there's no DS-160 on record at the embassy, how are they going to know who's it for? Hey, this is John. I'm giving you $265. Okay, where's the DS-160? Who's it for? You got to submit the DS-160 first, so the embassy knows what you're trying to do. Apply for a K1 visa. John, listen. Submit the DS-160, okay? TikTok, thank you. I will just redecorate. There you go. But her ashes are in the backyard. Thank you, dear Karina. Gracias para Karina. Muy amable. Okay, her ashes are in the backyard. Okay. Well, what you could do is, I don't know, just don't bring it up. Just don't bring it up. Okay? Because whatever's in the backyard is just carbon. You know, the human body is what? 70% water, 30% carbon, right? You get all these tree huggers out there saying carbon is bad, carbon is destroying the planet, carbon. But they forget to mention that they're 30% carbon themselves. Their body is carbon. So his wife, who passed away, is with the good Lord. The body is irrelevant, right? It's just a container that God lets you use while you're here. So don't worry about it. It's scattered in the plants in the backyard. Senora is in Cielo, is in Jardini con Flores. Don't worry, Krina's like, it's good. So got pretty flowers growing now from the carbon that was in the body that's no longer there. Okay. Jonas, gracias Diego, con mucho gusto. Jonas, escúchame en palabras, Jonas. Tú es bien, okay? Tú no víctima, tu vida es bien. Andre, hey friend, the last time I was on your live stream a few months ago, I told you I married 14 years ago, $2, pay my taxes, never get in trouble. I passed the interview and no swear in oath yet. So Andrea, you're waiting to become U.S. citizen, right? And it's been 8 months. Immigration's got 6 months from when you go to your naturalization interview to process your swearing in ceremony. The maximum you have to wait is 6 months. Okay? So you need to be either on the phone to the naturalization office, where it is the immigration office where you had your interview for U.S. citizenship. Or this would be a time when you bring in an immigration attorney. Now, I swear you don't need an immigration attorney to do the paperwork for a green card or for a K1 visa, a spousal visa. You don't need to be spending that kind of money on when I'm here to help you basically for free, right? But when you apply for U.S. citizenship, immigration's got 6 months in which to respond to you and get you sworn in. Okay? You need to call the office where you had your U.S. citizenship interview and ask them what the heck's going on. All right? If they give you a runaround answer, pay an immigration attorney a consult fee and see if they will help you. All right? or you can do it yourself. You can file a federal lawsuit against them if you want. If you can file a modus, I can't remember what the name. I'm not an immigration attorney, and I'm not giving you any legal advice, but you can sue immigration if they don't fulfill the order that's in the process. And U.S. citizenship, you got to be done and sworn in 6 months. So Andrea, you need to get in touch. Get in touch with immigration. Giovanni, we are in a 1-bedroom with little ones. She is 6. My lease ends on June 30th, and we need 2-bedroom. Okay, so you don't want to renew your lease because of space, right? So we're going to put mega pixie dust all over your process, because you really don't need to move in the middle of a green card application. You shouldn't do that. If it was me, okay, I would be sucking it up for another 6 months. What's the shortest term? Are you going to go month for month now for your lease? Are you going to go month per month, or do you have to sign another 12-month lease on your apartment? Because if you can go month by month, okay, stay where you are until you get the green card. Let me see here. Andre, now I am separated, still married. We have communication still. Okay. John Labatt, thanks. This will be our second DS-160. Well, when you submit a DS-160, okay, it will expire after 12 months. So didn't you have to go through some kind of medical exam and the sputum test and your DS-160 timed out? You got to repay the consular fee. You got to resubmit the DS-160. But first, you got to submit the DS-160. That Manila, yeah, the immigration, the folks in Manila know you pretty well, yeah. TikTok, sorry I'm a little weird, but you know you're not weird, but you have really helped me sleep tonight. TikTok, look, we love our friends in England, okay, in the United Kingdom. We're glad that you're going to have an opportunity to marry an American citizen, come to the United States and settle down here. And, you know, Karina told me that it's irrelevant to her if, let's suppose my wife had passed away. Karina said it's irrelevant to her just as long as there's no pictures. I don't talk about it. Okay. There's no pity parties going on. Because Karina is number one for me, okay? Karina is number one for me. Everything else is irrelevant, huh? And she said, I'm number one for her. The past is history. You close the chapter, and then you put the book up in the library and forget about it. You start a new life. You start a new chapter. You don't live in the past, okay? Start a new life with your American citizen sponsor, and the flowers are pretty in the garden, and everything's going to be perfect. Okay, TikTok, you're good to go. Christopher, I don't see RB. What is an RB? Andrea, I did it September 4th. Okay, Christopher Reese, I don't see the sign up video anymore. You can sign up for the channel, Christopher. You expired. You didn't renew your membership. And you don't have to renew your membership, but remember, the membership is for people if they want to call me, text me, or email me. That's the only reason I have it. Okay? So if you have my phone number and you are a member of this channel, if you call me in an emergency, I'm going to respond to you and help you with your immigration issues right away. You don't have to wait for a live stream. Giovanni, correct. Monday to Monday will be 500 extra. Month to month is 500. What do you mean 500? So they want you to sign a lease, another 6-month lease, and the rent stays the same? Why not just do a 6-month lease? What's the minimum lease that you can sign? Because you got to listen to me, Giovanni. You listen to me. You don't want to move in the middle of an immigration green card process. Okay, so you notify immigration, well, this is my new address. This is where I live now. And immigration could take them 30 days to update it. And then what if they send you, and then what if the paperwork hasn't updated? 12 months. Okay, And so if you sign a 12-month lease, the rent doesn't go up. Isn't that worth it? Not to lose it. What happens if you move and your green card gets mailed to where you live now, and the new person gets the paperwork? What the heck is this? And they send it back to immigration, or they throw it in the trash. It's not worth it. I would stay in the apartment until the green card's in the hand, and then you're good to go. We're going to put some mega pixie dust over Giovanni, because we're talking Colombia here. What about if I submit the application with the future address? You can do that if you want. You can do that. That would be a better way to go. That would be the way to do it. That would be the way to do it. Don't submit any paperwork until you have the new address. You got the new address, put the new address on the paperwork and put it as your new address. You're talking on the 485, right? And the 864 and all that jazz. If you move and before you file for the green card application, that's perfectly okay. But you don't want to move while you're waiting for a green card to come to your house. If you file for your 10-year green card, and you're waiting for the green card to come to your house, you don't want to move until you get the green card. But if you are submitting the application for the 2-year green card, and then you can use your new address, then you're good to go. Well, then you're okay, Giovanni. Mountain Dew salute. I didn't know that. You're good. You're okay. You will be perfectly fine, okay? Because that's your new home of record when immigration get it for the first time. But if you filed for the green card and then moved, then there's problems. Let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. Gohan, Diego, my wife is acting crazy since I bring her from the Philippines on a K1. I don't know what to do. So you're saying that your wife from the Philippines is acting crazy. Well, maybe she, number one, misses her friends and family in the Philippines. Number two, you need to maybe find a Phil-Am club where you live, a Filipino-American club, so she can interact with other Filipinas. She may be feeling like a fish out of water. What part of the Philippines is she from? Did she come from a small town, a small village? Is she from the south of the Philippines, central Philippines? Or is she from the big city like Manila? What part of the Philippines is she from? And what kind of a city do you live in? Did she go from Manila, Philippines to a little small rural town? Or did she go from a city to a city? You got to understand, right? When you bring a foreign national to the United States, you got to help that person get adjusted to the new life that she has or he has in America. Okay, now Karina's from the mountains of Venezuela. Okay, she's used to hot weather, so the Florida weather isn't really a bother, but it's a different kind of heat. It's a humid heat. In Venezuela, it was a dry heat like in Arizona. So I took Karina to Arizona, and we went to Nevada, and she's like, "Man, it's hot there," but it was the same kind of weather as in Venezuela. Here, the weather's different. Okay, you got to acclimatize your beneficiary and help her or him get accustomed to where they live. So, Gohan, a person acts the way they do for a reason. You got to find out what the reason is. Sit her down and ask her, what's wrong? Do you miss your family? Do you not like it in America? What is it that's creating you this anxiety? What you need to do is sit down with her and ask her some questions. John Labatt, yeah, that's it. Thanks. St. Luke's. Yeah, St. Luke's Extension in Manila. They know you too. Giovanni, you go ahead and move. As long as you file for the green card with the new address, you're covered. Christopher Reese, my bank account got hacked, so I didn't put new card in. Trying to find the sign-up page. I'm sorry you got hacked, Christopher. I remember you saying that before, but it's here. It's right out. It's on the front of the YouTube channel where it says membership. Just click on membership. And Giovanni, I submitted the application for the new place. Good. Valiant Thor. Now, Valiant Thor, that kind of reminds me of that time traveler. So I'm into extraterrestrials and and aliens and stuff. And Valiant Thor, I think, was a time traveler. The green card process has become entangled in bureaucracy, slowed by fear, shaped more by politics than by principle. I don't see how the green card process has been entangled in bureaucracy. The green card process is being processed as per congressional law. The Congress of the United States wrote a law that said this is how you process green cards, and that's how green cards are getting processed, as per congressional law, which is a bureaucracy, I guess, if you want to call it that, but there's no entanglements. It's going through the process. Politics has got nothing to do with green cards. I don't see how politics has got anything to do with green cards, other than the fact that members of Congress wrote the Immigration and Nationality Act, I think of 1952. I think that's what it was. You can Google it and double check me. But the Congress of the United States wrote the congressional law for this country for green cards. And actually that was in for K1s, that was in the 70s, in the 1970s. Is that when that kicked in. But the Congress controls the process, and then the State Department oversees it. And then the president has authority as the commander-in-chief to make his decisions on what he wants to do, okay? Although we got some of these rogue judges out there right now think they're the president and not the president. You got a couple of judges out there who are over trying to block President Trump's agenda, which is to enforce congressional law, which is insane. But, he'll go to appeal, and the appeal will overturn the rogue judge. Giovanni, thank you. You're good, Giovanni. Valiant Thor, have a blessed day. You too, Valiant Thor. But Valiant Thor, I think that's the name. You're using the name of a person who was a time traveler, right? From the future, if I remember. Come on, guys. What other questions have you got? I've been talking for an hour. I've got TikTok. I've got her. She's all good to go. I've got Jonas all good to go with his Venezuelan fiance. We got Christopher. He's good to go. You just gotta re-sign up as a member. Giovanni, the form I-485 for the adjustment of status, is it supposed to be filled out by the beneficiary? But she does not speak English, so you fill it out as a sponsor, and you can put yourself as the translator. Yes, in this case, you can if you speak fluent Spanish. You got to speak fluent Spanish. Okay. Now, I speak Spanish pretty good, but I don't speak fluent Spanish. So when Karina filled out the I-485, we had her friend Brenda as the translator. Brenda, her friend from Venezuela, was the translator because Brenda speaks fluent Spanish. I speak Spanish at about an 8-year-old can speak, an 8 or 10-year-old Spanish. I don't speak fluently. So when we filled out the 485, Karina's friend translated it for her. You speak Spanish fluently, then you can be the translator. Gohan, ever since she came here, she has been fighting with me and never listens to me anymore. She was so nice before, and then a total attitude change. One day I see her gym trainer drop her to my house. Her gym trainer is dropping her off to your house. What are you scared of? Don't be scared. You got to sit her down and find out why she's acting the way she is. Okay? Did you file for the green card yet? Giovanni, you speak Spanish? If you speak fluently, then you can be the translator. Celia, in the interview for the adjustment of status with USCIS, can I bring my sister-in-law to translate for me? I don't speak fluent English. Yes, you can do that. You're going to have to bring a translator. And don't forget, you're going to have to bring that form with you. When you go for a green card interview, if you're using a translator, you have to bring a form with you. And I don't have it here with me, or if I did, I'd give you the name of it. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the form, but you got to print a form if you are bringing a translator to the green card interview. John Labatt, have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Diego and Karina. Good night, John. Gohan. Christopher, back as a member. There you go, Christopher. Mountain Dew salute to Christopher. You figured it out. Gohan, she has a green card. Okay? She has her green card. Gohan, you need to sit down with her and ask her why is she not happy? What is irritating her? Why is she fighting with you? What is the irritation? There's got to be something. Figure it out. Okay? You can do it. Find it. Does she have any Filipino friends? Valiant Thor, you know how in stories sometimes the hero comes from a faraway place, maybe even another planet. That's true. And walks among people without anyone really knowing who they are. Well, what if I told you someone like that could be real? Well, I would believe you, Valiant Thor. But that would be for my J-Rod Files YouTube channel. I mean, if this a person from another planet wants to come here and they're going to apply for a green card, they could always do that. But yeah, I'm from the Zeta Reticuli, and I would like to become a permanent resident of the United States. I speak 700 languages. But Valiant Thor, seriously, there's life on other planets. We would be, I believe in God and I believe in the Bible and everything else, okay? And God created not just one universe, in my opinion, but multiple universes. And the Big Bang, all these scientists and all these highly educated MIT professors talking about the Big Bang never happened. How did the universe come about? Well, just imagine you're at an Independence Day fireworks display and you see all those multiple explosions in the sky. Those can be construed as universes being created. The Big Bang never happened, okay? From a singularity. There's a singularity and then everything expands out this way. And then right here is when the planets evolved, etc. It's all bogus, baloney. That's not the way it happened. Christopher, good job. Welcome back to the channel, Christopher. We're glad to see you back. Christopher is maybe her and my lady could talk. When a lady from the Philippines is feeling stressed out in a strange country, she needs to sit down with another lady from the Philippines. Okay? You got to find a group of Filipinos. Like Karina's got all her friends here from Puerto Rico, from Venezuela, from Chile, from what? No Chile? Oh. Indonesia. She got friends from the Philippines, Indonesia, Puerto Rico, Japan. Yeah. Let's see here. Valiant Thor, keep asking questions, keep imagining, and never stop looking for the extraordinary, because sometimes it's standing right in front of you. There you go, Valiant Thor. You're correct. Christopher Reese, God is creator of all of it, 100%. That's exactly right. And our brains are not sufficiently qualified yet to understand everything. Okay? We don't have the capabilities to understand everything. Baxter, Jay Baxter, welcome back, Christopher. And Christopher Reese, Gohan, what part of the Philippines is she from? That's what I asked. Maybe her and Christopher's lady can talk. And Gohan, I'm an older gentleman around 65, and she is 32 from Cebu. Well, 32. Cebu is a tourist town, right? Pretty touristy, beautiful part of Philippines, central Philippines. You got to get her, Gohan, you got to get her involved in the Philam Club, find a Philam Club where you live and get her into the Philam Club so she feels a little bit more familiar with people that she's used to being around, okay? Celia, the interpreter must be American. No, the interpreter must be able to speak English and whatever language it is you got to translate. It can be Canadian visiting us each month. Sure, a Canadian can come here and visit and be a translator. No problem. Christopher Reese, Cebu, my lady's from Pampanga. I will see if she has any friends in Cebu. You need to find friends of hers in the United States who are Filipino. TikTok to Valiant Thor. That's taking alien citizens to the next level. Look, TikTok. I'm putting together this channel right here. There it is. The J-Rod Files. And that's where Valiant Thor, he needs to subscribe. When I get that channel up and running, Valiant Thor can be the first subscriber. Christopher Reese. Karina, a networker, as is my lady. I respect that. High five, Karina. High five, Karina. Hey, there you go. Christopher, what part are you from? Is it similar to Cebu? Now, look, I've never been to the Philippines, but they're beautiful people. They're wonderful people. They speak English fluently. Most of them do. They speak Tagalog, right? Kumusta ka? And sometimes I say this, and you know, mahirap ang buhay, which means sometimes life can be difficult, something like that in Tagalog, okay? Life is not always an easy journey, but it's a journey that we all take. Some days are good, some days are not so good, especially when you're going through a K-1 visa green card application, especially when you bring somebody from a foreign country to America and they don't have a clue about the United States. That's why the Philippines has the program where they have that class they have to go through by the Philippine government before they leave the Philippines to come live in a foreign country. Okay? If you're from Cebu and you're used to Cebu, it's going to be high traffic, lots of people, lots of hustle and bustle, lots of activity. Okay? Lapu-Lapu was the liberator of the Philippines, right? Kicked the Spanish out. So you go ahead, you got to find some Filipinas in where you live, in the city you live in, and get your wife some friends who are Filipinas. Okay? Kuna has her friend from Puerto Rico, and they get together and they can speak their Spanish. I don't speak Spanish fluently, but I can pretty much understand most of it. But it's important. Karina has a good, her best friend now is Charlene, and they like in Spanish. I'm like, what the heck? But it's all good. All right. You have to, what's the word I'm thinking of? You got to accommodate your beneficiary. Okay. Got to accommodate. Let me see. Christopher Gohan, I think I might have to divorce her. Seriously. One day I caught her coming home at 1 a.m. I don't know what to do. Oh, did you ask her? Why was she out at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why didn't you go with her? If she went out someplace, go with her. You don't need, what are you talking about? Divorce her. You got to find out what the problem is first. Christopher, that class is a CFO, Diego. Excuse me, the CFO class. They have it in Manila and they have it in Cebu. And if you're a Filipino, you got to go to the CFO class first you get your K-1 visa in your passport. You show the K-1 visa to the government of Philippines, the Philippine government, and then they schedule you for the CFO class, and you take the class, and then the Philippine government gives you help on how to adjust and relocate to the United States or whatever country you're going to move to. TikTok. Hey, Diego, if I sign up and subscribe, can you walk me through the I-129F, Mr. Please? TikTok, if you are subscribed, if you are a member of this channel, you can subscribe to the channel. That way you can chat in the live stream. And remember, I never ever ask anyone to subscribe to this channel. I never ask anyone to share or to like anything. It's your channel. What? I mean, it's like you got these people with a sign sitting on the road that says, "We'll work for food," right? That's like, please subscribe. I don't do that. I mean, I don't like YouTube channels where the first thing they say is, well, you don't forget to like and subscribe. I just click off of that freaking channel. Okay? The Daily Woo is a YouTube channel. He never ever asks anybody to like or subscribe to his channel. And he puts together a fantastic video every day. The Daily Woo, I think is what it is. Okay? He's actually from Florida. So I subscribe to his channel because he doesn't freaking hold a sign up says we'll work for a subscription. Okay? But TikTok, if you become a member of the channel, it's $9.99 a month. want to take your money, but it's the only way I know I can keep a track of who's got my phone number and my email address. But if you sign up as a member, TikTok, I will personally help you process the K1 visa, everything. I'll help you with everything. You will not fail. Okay? I'll make sure you don't fail. TikToks, if you join as a member, you can sign up as a member. If you sign up as a member, you get a black star with a blue circle next to your name. That way I know you're a member also. Christopher, maybe she came home at 1 o'clock, got to remember the nightlife starts here. This is all new to her. Yeah, America's new to, you come to the United States, it doesn't matter what country. I mean, Karina's like in America, she was used to Colombia and Venezuela. I mean, she's looking at Miami from the airplane going, oh my gosh, look how pretty. And then we went to New Orleans and she's looking like this, looking at all the buildings. What? No? Yeah. And then we went to Las Vegas. We went to Arizona. We went to the Grand Canyon. Karina's looking at the biggest hole in the ground. She's like, and I'm like, it's just a big freaking hole in the ground, right? That was made by the Colorado River, and she's Karina's. It's like, you see the movie, huh? And the beaches here, she said, are beautiful. I mean, these are the prettiest beaches in the world right here in the Panhandle of Florida. I mean, even the beaches in Hawaii are they're okay, but these beaches are beautiful here. Karina's like in Arizona. She's in Nevada. She went to Mississippi. She's been to New Orleans. I want to take her. She's talking to me today. She said, hey, why don't we catch a train from Miami to New York? And I'm like, well, how do we get to Miami? Well, we could fly to Miami. I'm like, you want to fly to Miami, catch a train from Miami to New York, and then fly back, and then catch a train from New York back to Miami, and fly from Miami back here. How about I just take her to New York City for a vacation, and then I drive her to Washington, D.C. and around New York City. I would much rather spend a week in New York City than spend a day riding on a freaking train. But it's up to Karina. We'll figure it out, and we'll keep you in the loop because we're going to make a video about whatever it is we do. Christopher, I know what it is, just throwing it out there. You're doing good work, Christopher. Gohan, this is my second K1 visa from the Philippines. Well, then you're done, Gohan. You only get 2. I don't have it in me to do it again. I don't blame you. Why would you want to go through it again? 2 times you get 2 chances. You get 2 K1 visa chances, okay? If you're going to go for number 3, you're going to have to get permission from the U.S. government, USCIS, immigration, Homeland Security. You're going to have to jump through so many hoops if you go to number 3. All right? So go ahead. If you divorce this lady from the Philippines, you are done. It's over. Find an American, okay? But my advice to you is to get her some Filipino friends that she can hang out with that will help her adjust to living in America. Gohan, I understand how you're feeling, man. I understand, okay? And you got to sit her down and find out what her issue is. Christopher Reese, Gohan, how long you been married? Maybe remember, this is so many people say it's easy to quit than to get through it. Please work at it. It's easy to throw in the towel and quit, right? But that's not what we Americans do, right? Americans don't quit. Americans don't throw in the towel. Americans figure it out. That's why we're the greatest country in the world, right? In my opinion. Although Venezuela is a beautiful country too. But we got to get rid of that freaking government. Maduro government's got to go. Christopher Reese. TikTok, thank you so much. Yeah, TikTok. If you sign up as a member, you're going to get a blue circle and a black star by your name, and I'll know that you're a member. And then you can go into the members only channel, the members videos, and then you'll get my phone number and email, and then you can text me. Okay? Then you can text me. Now, somebody sent a text to Karina's WhatsApp account asking questions about visas and green cards, and I don't use WhatsApp, okay, or WhatsApp. WhatsApp. That's what it's called, right? WhatsApp. I don't use it. So if you're sending questions to Karina's WhatsApp, she's just gonna not. She want number one, she doesn't speak English, so she won't have a freaking clue what you're asking, and so she'll just delete it. If you want to contact me, send me text through my cell phone number, which is Karina's and I's cell phone number. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Americans, we don't quit. Go ahead, don't quit. Rooster's in the house. Rooster is a member of this channel. Hey, Rooster, how's everyone doing? We're good. TikTok, I thought the Grand Canyon was created by crashing a spaceship. I'm obviously mistaken. The Grand Canyon was created by a river, right? Karina learned this, a rio. The Grand Canyon was like flat, and then the water cut a hole, and there's the Grand Canyon. To me, it's a big hole in the ground. I'm like, yeah, that's a big hole. But to Karina, it was a fantastic experience to see the Grand Canyon. What an experience. Adriano Muro, there you go. Can you help me with forms for adjustment of status and work authorization? Also, can you tell me the price of the application for each form is going to be for my fiance, Diana? Adriano, I can do all that for you, but it's going to, in order for me to do all that paperwork for you, I will ask you respectfully to sign up as a member so we can do it via email and over the phone. Because what you're asking me to do is a lot of work. You want me to do the forms of adjustment, the adjustment of status paperwork, the work permit, the K1 visa is gone. If you're applying for the green card, the K1 visa is irrelevant. But go ahead, Adriano, sign up as a member, and then you can text me and say, hey, this Diego, this is Adriano. I just signed up as a member. I need your help with the adjustment of status paperwork. As soon as I get that text message, okay, then I'll personally work on it with you personally, okay? But I can't do it in a live stream. What you want me to do requires one-on-one attention. I cannot explain it in a live stream. Christopher Reese, good Rooster. Rooster, been busy, got my wife on my bank, credit card, debit card. It was difficult because the bank had to have a social security form. Then they had to verify the social security number, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but all good. Now I'm blocked my accounts for a few days. There you go. That's all good. Christopher, some banks require this and some don't. Rooster, I have Navy Federal Credit Union, NFCU. Rooster, very good. That's a good bank, by the way. If you could put the NFCU application on your phone, you can do all your banking on your phone from the application. Christopher, yeah, I have Navy Federal and a local credit union here in North Carolina. Okay, now Adriano, sign up as a member. TikTok, sign up as a member. Then I can help you personally. The things that you need me to help you with, I can't do it in a 1 hour live stream. I just can't. I need for you to, and the only reason I ask you to sign up as a member isn't because I want the $9.99. The money's not important to me. What's important is, number one, I help you personally. And number two, I know who's got my phone number and my email address. YouTube said to me, they sent me emails. They said, Diego, if you want to start memberships for people, that way you can track the phone number. And if you give out personal information, you can keep a track of it. So I created the membership. TikTok, good night, everyone. Sending special hugs to Gohan. Go book that date night with her. Yeah, create a date night. That's a good idea. TikTok, that's a good idea. And Adriano, send me the link. You just click on the channel in the membership. It says, do you want to be a member? You just click on there. I don't have a link to it. You have to do it in the channel. And then once you become a member, you can then text me, hey, Diego, it's Adriano. And then I can either call you, you can call me, or you can email me your questions, and we will process this paperwork for you so there's no mistakes. Christopher Reese, I may need help because I haven't got the info yet. It's hard to schedule a K1 and K2 at the same time. No, it's not. You schedule one interview. You schedule the K1 interview, and you bring the K2 with you to the interview. You pay 2 consular fees, and you submit 2 DS-160s medical-wise. Yeah, you got to have 2 medical exams. In when you come to the United States, you're going to have 2 new medical exams for the green card. 2 medical exams for the green card, 2 medical exams for the K1 visa, 1 for the K1 and 1 for the K2. Right? And if you're coming from the Zeta Reticuli, like J-Rod here, right, then you're going to have 3 medical exams. I don't know if J-Rod had a medical exam. Okay, guys, I've been talking an hour and a half. How soon after getting to the United States to repeat the medical exam? As soon as you can. As soon as you get here. Schedule it. Get it out of the way. Karina was in America for what, 3 days, and I already had a medical exam scheduled. We weren't even married yet. All right, guys. Adriano, TikTok. Hopefully you sign up. That way I can help you personally on the phone. If you don't want to be a member, it's okay too. It's no problem. All right. Mega pixie dust on everybody, and we will see you on what's today? Saturday. We'll see you Monday. If you now remember, if the next, I'm going to make a video tomorrow. Karina's at work. I'll be back on Monday. Karina's night off on Monday. She may be with us or not. It depends on how tired she is. I'll make a video tomorrow. We'll be back Monday at 6 o'clock. And if you are a member of this channel, you can text me tonight. You can text me tomorrow. You don't have to wait till the live stream. And Monday's a holiday, Diego. That is Memorial Day in memory of all of our fallen heroes in the military. It's a holiday. It's Memorial Day. And I'll be here Memorial Day for you.